Welcome to Basement MTG with me, a nerd in his basement. In this video, I'll be testing a red-white-blue deck against the To Defeat a God deck. This deck starts out with the God Xenagos on the field, 2/1/3s called Rollicking Throng. It is a self-playing deck that I like to test some decks against. This red-white-blue deck, I also call it my one-for-all deck. It's based around using one spell to target a Mirror Wing or a Zada Hadron grinder, which once targeted, if they're the only thing targeted, then it will copy that spell and copy it for each other creature that you're able to, hence being one spell for all creatures. So let's get going and see if we can't get this deck to work. And it looks like I got some lands, so we'll be able to start this right up. Play Swiftwater Cliffs and gain a life. I'll then play Windscarred Crag, gain a life as well. I play this one just like the Horde, where you do 3 turns and then that starts going. Play a Rugged Prairie. Tap the Windscarred and the Swiftwater to play Jace, Bryn's Prodigy. And now the God deck will go, which will be 2 cards. It's a sorcery, says that Xenagos will attack this turn, if able, and gains trample, and then 4 damage straight to me. So I'm going to be taking 10 right off the bat, because I'm not going to block with Jace just yet. Alright, play an island. And I'll keep everything in my hand for now. Can't really play a whole lot anyway. That would make sense. And this one is different than the Battle of the Horde deck. You don't attack the deck like you do in the Horde. You attack the creatures themselves. And when the creatures are all gone, then you can attack Xenagos and get him removed from the field. So we'll play this. 2/4 Death Touch comes out. And this is a sorcery. At the beginning of combat, all revelers gain haste and attack this turn if able. Now, I could use 2 spells to get rid of the Death Touch, but I think I'm just going to block a 1/3 and just take 3 for now. And not cast anything. Next turn. I suppose I could have done Jace's ability, but oh well. I am going to play a Jorian Ruin Diver. Hopefully you can get some card drawing going on here. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. Now this deck, a 4/2 that will attack if there's 5 or more revelers, which there now are. And the 2/2 that will attack when it enters the battlefield if it's able. So now is the time. I'm going to block the 2/2 with Jorian. Then I'm going to use Sure Strike on Jace to give him +3/+0 and first strike until end of turn, and to block the 4/2 as well. Now both of these have a hero reward, which is gaining life. I believe the 4/2 you gain 3, the Ecstatic Piper you gain 2. So I am going to do that and gain the 5 life, try to keep myself alive here. And at the end of turn I'll tap, draw a card, and discard a card with Jace's ability. Once there's 5 or more cards in my graveyard, then he'll flip over to the Planeswalker. Mystic Monastery adds one of the 3 colors I need in this deck. I am then going to play Keranos, God of Storms. He's an enchantment at the moment until the devotion becomes 7 of for blue and red mana cost. So right now it's only got 2 there, 3, 4, 5. So 2 more and he'll be a creature. The god will go. That's the one that's giving Xenagos trample and attacking. When you draw a Rollicking Throng from the deck, you actually just draw another card. So instead of 2, it's an additional 1 for each time you draw one of those. Now this one is going to have me sack an artifact or enchantment, and if I don't, then it does 3 damage. And the only one I have is Keranos. I don't want to sack that. And Xenagos is attacking, which... that's 9 damage for the turn, which I'm just going to do. Go down to 5. Hopefully that's not going to bite me. I'm going to draw a card actually before I untap and take my turn to discard a card. This is going to discard Invigorated Rampage and draw. Well, actually, the first card I draw each turn. If I reveal a land, draw a card. If I reveal a non-land card, it does 3 damage to a creature or a player. So I'll just deal 3 damage to a Rollicking Throng and get rid of that. And now I can play out Baral and carry Zev. 2/4 first strike menace. If you cast your first instant or sorcery each turn, you may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from my hand without paying its mana cost. If I don't, create Ragavan, a 2/1 legendary monkey pirate token and gains haste. Now that I played that, though, my devotion is 7, so Keranos will now become a creature, which will be helpful. I have an indestructible 6/5 out there. And let's see. I think at that point, just going to end turn here. God deck will go. It's a 4/4. A Rollicking Throng, so I draw 1 more card. And at the beginning of combat, all revelers gain haste and attack if able. So this time, I'm going to block the 4/4 with the 6/5. And I'll block all the 1/3s with the rest of them and just take the 2 from the Death Touch. When this one dies, there is a hero reward of draw a card, which I'm going to do. And then I'm also going to draw a card and discard a card with Jace. That is a tough decision. How many cards are in here? Let's see. There's 3 in there for now, so he won't be flipping yet. As much as I want to keep the Lightning Angel, well, you know what? No. I'm going to get rid of Refocus. Even though that's a good card to have. Especially for when, if I do get the whole point of this deck out, if I'm going to be copying spells across all of them, that's a good one to have, but I hopefully will draw in some other stuff. Now, Keranos, I revealed a land, so that means I draw a card and draw. Prairie Stream, it comes in untapped if I control 2 or more basic lands, which I have 2. Okay, then play Ojutai Exemplars. When you cast a non-creature spell, you can choose one of these 3 abilities. Then just going to pass turn. Ecstatic Piper, which is the 2/2 that comes in and attacks, and a 4/4. Does not attack right away. So the 2/2 I can block with Keranos, and then it's got the hero reward of gaining 2 life, so I'll go back up to 5 here. And then also going to do Jace's ability and draw and discard a card. Going to discard this land here. Then there are 5 or more, which I think actually that would make Keranos not a creature anymore. Flips Jace. Now, on my turn, be able to use him as the Planeswalker. The first one I reveal It's not a land, therefore it'll do 3 damage to something. I'll get rid of a Rollicking Throng, as the other ones have 4 toughness. Won't help with those. And now I'm going to play a mountain. I'm going to play the Lightning Angel, which will bring Keranos back into being a creature. I'll then cast Lice Hexed. Prowess, non-creature spells cost 1 less. If you cast 2 or more non-creatures, gains double strike. And that's my second spell of the turn, so I'm going to draw a card. Another Lightning Angel. And I'll +1 Jace up to 6, and I'll give up to 1 creature -2/-0 till my next turn. I'll choose the 2/4. And since that no longer has any power for the Death Touch, I'm actually going to attack it with the Ojutai Exemplar to get rid of it. It has a hero reward of draw a card. Then I'll end the turn. 4/2, and an enchantment that whenever a Reveler attacks, it deals 1 damage to each player. Put that up, it's a little out of view, but it is there. The 4/2 will only attack if there's 5 or more Revelers, which there are only 4. Xenagos is a god, not a Reveler, so he does not count. So then I'll take my turn. Now with Keranos, I'm going to reveal the top. It's a land, so I draw a card. Play the mountain. Switch around my lands here a little bit. All right. Well, I'm going to play this Feather the Redeemed. Cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature. Exile it instead of putting it in the graveyard. And at the next end step, I can get it back in my hand. It's a great card for this deck. If I have the Mirror Wing... what am I trying to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Ability out, and I can cast spells on it, copy them for everything. This is a nice one to have out to then just take that spell right back to my hand and be able to recycle them a bit. So I'll put that way over there. Then I'll play Lightning Angel again. That's my second spell, so I'm going to draw a card. Alright, good here. Now this is a nice card to have for this. So I'm going to play tap 2 and play Isochron Scepter. It's got imprint to imprint an instant card with converted mana cost 2 or less. You can pay 2 and copy the exiled card and cast the copy without paying its mana cost. I like this in here because, again, with the Mirror Wing, this is still casting it, so if I use this on a spell to cast over and over again on Mirror Wing, then I can continually copy it for all my other spells. I'm going to do Lauren's Escape. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, scry 1, which is a great card to be able to use over and over again. Now right now it'll only do it to 1 creature when I have the mana, but with Mirror Wing, it's a nice way to just continually do that over and over again. Alright, so now I'm going to use Jace's +1, and I'll give the 4/4 -2 -0. Then I'm going to attack the Ojutai Exemplar to that, so it's now a 2/4. And then I'm going to attack the 4/2 with Baral and Karizev since it has first strike. And we'll hero reward of draw a card and gain 3 life. I'm going to do both, even though I probably don't need to, but you never know. Sometimes I'll draw that 4 damage to each player twice in a row, and well, I'm at 8, so that'll still take me out, but I want to take advantage of some of these life gains and stuff in this deck, otherwise the deck can definitely sneak up on you. So the God's turn, Ecstatic Piper, it's going to be attacking. 2 Ecstatic Pipers going to be attacking. Still have that enchantment out, so when they attack, it's going to deal a damage to me for each. That's 2 damage. down to 6. But I am able to block and destroy both of these, which will have the hero reward of gaining 2 life for both of them, so I'll go up 4 to 10. And take my turn. Reveal the top. It's 3 damage to a Rollicking Throng. Since it's a non-land, I'm going to play Shivan Reef. I might as well play out my Monastery Swiftspear. And, you know, just to get the card for playing the second spell and the draw card on this, I'll play Repulse on the Rollicking Throng. So there's no creatures left out over there. Draw the card, draw a card. 1 for being the second spell cast, 1 for its ability. And then play the Archaeomancer and return an instant from my graveyard to my hand. I think I'll return the untap target creature, draw a card, refocus. But at this point, as you can see, Xenagos is the only one left out there. So really, I can just attack him with my Indestructible Keranos. In this case, the superior god with Indestructible. Take that. To defeat a god, you must use a god. But anyway, that would remove him from the game. And he's gone, and the Revelers are gone. And that's the game won. So even though I didn't get the whole purpose this deck was made, sort of, as the Mirror Wing kind of gimmick, where it casts everything, it still can work on its own without that, as long as you keep things rolling. I wonder how far it would be. This one, Sage of Inward Eye. Cast non-creature spell, get some lifelink. That would be helpful to get me back up there. And there's Mirror Wing. After 4 draws, been my 5th draw. Could have got Mirror Wing. Then we really could have been going crazy with Lauren's Escape on the Isochron Scepter. All kinds of shenanigans. But anyway, I think this deck worked pretty well, this play. You know, this game is somewhat luck of the draw, but also you want to try to have your deck be as consistent as possible. That was why I test them all the time against these self-playing decks. Although usually I'm not playing one-on-one games typically. Usually playing in multiplayer games, so you want your deck to kind of last out a bit. You don't want to play out too quick, but sometimes that's inevitable. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out this same deck against the Battle of the Horde deck, or the video where this deck has just gone through all the contents in this deck. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.